Today, but we got a big story that broke today, and we promised everyone that we would do this. So
Yes, we did.
here we are. Bobby rocking the Darth Vader hat, rocking the cold world shirt right here, and it's indeed a very cold world for the Houston Astros today. That's where we begin.
Yeah, today was a huge day. Everybody's been waiting for months on end. When will the punishment come down on the Houston Astros? And today, around, I believe it was 2 o'clock, the hammer came down and the Astros definitely got punished. So, why don't we all break down what they were served? They were served with, well, first I want to start off with a 1-year suspension to now former manager A.J. Hinch, who was fired along with the general manager. What's the general manager's name?
It's Jeff Luhnow.
Jeff Luhnow, fired, suspended a year. Fined $5 million. Damn.
$5 million big ones. Also, they lose draft picks, first rounders in 2020 and 2021. First rounders, second rounders. So here's the thing. The GM and manager get fired. They both get suspended a year. And then no player suspensions. There's also still something looming for Alex Cora, who's supposed to get a suspension longer than Hinch, but we'll talk about that more later. We're going to focus on Houston for now and everything that's happened and taking place. So I just want to say my reaction to this is I'm pretty content with it. I know a lot of people wanted more, but I wasn't expecting much more because this is an unprecedented situation the MLB has been in. I understand why people want more, but I was just trying to look at it realistically, and I know a year suspension's a huge deal. That's never really happened for a manager except Pete Rose when he bet on baseball in 98 and 89 or whatever it was. And then we had a situation apparently in 1947 where some guy got involved with some stuff and was suspended for a year. And then we have the Black Sox scandal, which is the closest thing I think that's taking place to something like this, where they threw the World Series in 1908 with a group of bettors. There was 8 players in on it. But this is just... it's embarrassing for the Astros. It's a slap in the face. But was the slap on the wrist? Could it have been worse? I know you think so. I mean, if it was going to be worse, how would we make it worse? Well, what would we have wanted to see happen?
Well, here's the thing. I'm content. I think Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball did a great job with their investigation. They brought some severe ramifications, severe punishments to the Astros. And hopefully another baseball team isn't this stupid to do it again. But in my opinion, you know what? I think that they should have been penalized with international pool money.
Okay.
To try, because there's going to be great players in Japan and all that they could still try to go get. They weren't penalized. Another way to punish this team is so that they can't go out and spend pool money to go get a great player. Because you never know. Now they could find another great player out there with the money from the international pool money. So
yeah, especially if they go down to Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly.
In their favor.
I agree. It's just. I think that should have been a punishment. But listen, I'm definitely okay with the punishments. If it were up to me, I would have added the international pool money fine as well. So, but other than that, I agree with it. I think that we can all agree on this. The integrity of the game was disrespected, and no baseball fan wants to see that. And here's the way I see it. I think that, you know what? I think teams are going to look at this now and literally think twice about ever doing something like this, because this is $5 million for a fine is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. It's the most that could have been given out. I mean, it's really pocket change to the owners, sadly.
Well, yeah, of course.
But it is a stiff penalty.
They don't want to pay that, though.
No one wants to actually pay that. But it was, it's definitely called for. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised it wasn't more, but they did everything they could. Could it have been more? Could they have rewritten rules here? Maybe. I mean,
right.
Could they have suspended Hinch and Luhnow for more than a year? Could there have been lifetime bans potentially? Would that have been over the top in your opinion? And then, do you think any players should have got suspended? How do you feel about Beltran basically getting out of this scotch-free? I think he got pretty lucky with this.
Yeah, you know what?
Because he was a player.
It was.
That's why.
You know what? I'm okay with them not punishing players. I know the players were in on it, but I don't feel like they really initiated it. I think the people who were responsible, the general manager and the manager, were definitely held more accountable, in my opinion, even though it benefited the players. But I think Beltran, you know what, he did. I'll tell you what, he better breathe a sigh of relief that he's getting off scot-free with nothing, because Alex Cora is about to really get shunned, isn't he? Oh,
he's going to get fired too. Just wait on
Yep,
it.
I know. It's inevitable.
It's really funny because we met him at the winning meetings. We saw him. Maybe we cursed him. Maybe we gave him that bad juju. But now he's in a boatload of trouble, and he's involved in two things. That's the story with Alex Cora. And we should break down the timeline of events just in case some people aren't fully aware of what's taking place. So Cora was caught with the Astros, and he was a big part of the system they created, banging the garbage cans to figure out the pitches and looking at the videos and everything. Him and Beltran were critical in making this happen. That's why Beltran's getting off very luckily, like we just said. And then in 2018, there's more stuff that came out recently about him and the Red Sox looking at video and trying to get pitches too, although I'm going to say and put my bias aside here that the Red Sox, what they did was nowhere nearly as bad as what the Astros did. They were just like looking at video in a video,
right,
basically, like, and trying to like get some pitches here and there. Like, it wasn't as malicious as like the Astros system was. No. This was taking place, and also it's not certain that this only took place in 2017 with the Astros. This could have been going on for years. There's even allegations of whistling this year in the ALCS from the Yankees. I'm sure we all know that, but it's really the Astros' track record here. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. Even Logan Morrison came out and said they were cheating in 2014. I don't know how true that is, but honestly, the Astros really just went above and beyond. That's the thing. Like, this was a top-down scheme. Like, the whole organization was in on this. Like, they could say they're not. They could pretend they weren't. But everyone knew what was going on. And Hinch said he tried to stop it. He didn't try that hard. Let's be realistic here. And then the GM said he wasn't aware of it either, and he had nothing to do with it. I don't believe that for a second at all. I mean, everyone's involved in this. And they were saying, Rosenthal was saying there was a win at all costs mentality, and that's what they felt like they had to do. And get the only World Series they've won is definitely tainted. Everyone will look back in that World Series, and they will always know what happened with the cheating and everything. Also, we talk about this in length. Aaron Judge was robbed of the MVP. He did not know what pitches were coming, and he was still better in mostly every category than Jose Altuve. It was just hits and batting average. That's all Altuve had on him, I'm pretty sure. Maybe, and stolen bases, perhaps, but all the other stuff Judge had, like the slugging, all the homers, the doubles, all the other stuff, all the slugging, slugging on base, everything. It was everything except the average, basically, but that's done. It's over with. Although Judge did delete the post congratulating Altuve for the 2017 MVP, so I did enjoy that. Also, shout out Trevor Bauer. You're killing it on Twitter. Bauer outage. We're totally behind you, bro.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that about the Instagram post that he deleted. Yep, now that definitely is robbery from Aaron Judge, who definitely deserved to be the MVP. But with all this, you know what? It's just really, really crazy just how they just went above and beyond to just cheat. A win at all cost. I understand that, but you know, when you're getting somebody sitting with a monitor, you're slamming on garbage cans.
This is so ridiculous.
Like, you literally went out of your way to have some kid or whoever the hell there sit with a monitor in the dugout and just literally, this is coming, bang, bang, bang.
You literally see the setup too. They
didn't even try to hide it.
There was sunflower seeds, peanuts all over the floor. No, like someone was camping out there for hours.
And here's the thing. And another thing, that's just arrogant. It's just so.
It was in the World Series video.
Like, if I saw that World Series video, I would be embarrassed. And
how do you let that get out?
I just don't think that. You know what? All this is just. I agree with you. The World Series win is definitely tainted.
100%.
There is a huge asterisk right there.
Just like the steroid users. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same exact
Somebody
thing.
put a post on this. On Twitter, somebody asked, "What's worse in baseball, steroids or no?" Excuse me. The question was, what is a bigger advantage, steroids or knowing a pitch is coming? And believe it or not, knowing a pitch is coming beat it.
Knowing a pitch is coming easily, I would say, because like you still got to hit the ball and time it with the steroids. You just get a little extra power if you happen to make contact, I guess. But seriously though, It is ridiculous, and the fact that they went through all this. But I'm happy that. Although here's the thing that I'm actually going to say, and I don't know how you feel about this. Do you feel like the suspensions almost make it easier? I mean, the fact that they got fired almost makes it easier for the Astros to move on instead of like having to have that cloud over them. It was definitely the right decision to fire them, but do you feel like it was almost the easy way out for them in a way?
Yeah, I think that, you know what? They needed two fall guys, and the manager and the general manager, the two people involved. I agree with you. The general manager knew what was going on. It's all just a cover-up to try to save his own ass.
And he actually threw a lot of dirt at Cora on the way out as well.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
You know what? It seems to me
things are not looking good for Mr. Cora right now.
It seems like Cora is the mastermind behind this whole thing. I'm starting to get that sense.
His hands are not clean by any means.
His hands have blood on them.
Yeah, well, I'll say. And now his World Series isn't even in question, too, although they say the Red Sox didn't cheat in the playoffs. But honestly, Red Sox are going to have to fire him. This is crazy, but when you look at this from the terms of the Yankees, what a great offseason, brother. First of all, we steal their best pitcher, one of the best pitchers on the planet. He's now playing for us. We take away their best. Then they make zero impact moves in the offseason. They have not done one thing to make themselves better. And now their GM and manager are fired. They're about to go into spring training with interns, GMs, and intern managers. And they say Espana, the bench coach, is the likely candidate to take over, which makes sense. And I don't think the manager is going to be a big effect, really. Managers in baseball, like we've been talking about this for a while, it's really all about analytics now. The guts are really not there anymore. The game is played through a computer almost in a way now. It's not right, but that's how it's been. And I don't really think the manager is going to have a big effect on the Astros team. The talent's there. The team, they know what they have to do. But the general manager, that's big because he's the one that put everything together. Who's going to step up and fill that job?
He's the architect.
Who's going to step up and do that now? We don't know. I've heard Craig Biggio was a possibility. I'm not sure how likely that is. I know he works with the organization, and maybe they'll go that route. Have you heard about anyone who might take the spot for the GM?
I haven't really heard anything about the general manager. I was looking at that too because that general manager
is way bigger than the manager to me.
That was huge. Now they got to really scramble around because he's got to build a team. He's got to really make a lot of decisions and all that. And
stuff's going to change.
Craig Biggio, arguably their greatest player in their history of their team. You know what? What better way to try to wipe this all clean with somebody who's not a cheater like that, who's a class act, who's one of the best he was the best player in their franchise history, in my opinion.
Yeah, he could be.
Why not? You know what? Start here. This is what Astros have to do now. All this with them, it's not over. They still got to worry about
it's not over.
And I'm going to tell you this. I think this is going to affect them. During the season, it's going to affect them, especially since they don't have their best pitcher. Since we stole them. And we're great, and thank God, cold world, cold summer.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold summer in New York.
It's going to, you know what? This is something that they're going to really try this year to try to get away from. They're going to try to convince free agents, players, fans, people in baseball, people all around the world that this is not who they are anymore. They were cheaters. They got it.
They're already trying to flip the page and be like, we don't do that. That's why we're getting rid of these guys. They're just trying to wipe the slate clean, but it's not going to be that easy.
No, it's never that easy. And you know what? With the general manager position, I think they need to act on that fast. Jim Crane, the owner, I applaud you. You know what? You had to get rid of the filth. You got rid of it. But your team really has a lot to work on, man. But here's the thing, though. What bothers me about this is they didn't need to cheat. The Astros were so talented.
That too, yeah.
They don't need to cheat. They were without cheating, they still would have won that. They're just that good.
Would they have? Because they did go 7 games for us and the Dodgers.
I don't know.
Maybe they wouldn't have won.
I just feel like they were just so talented.
No, they're good. I mean,
they were just so talented. Their roster's so young core. They had everything working for them, and then. You just gotta. It still baffles my mind that they were dumb enough to do something like this.
Yeah, I mean it's absurd. It's not like the hitters don't have talent, like you said, but we've talked about the splits on the road and the home, how different they were during the playoffs. Although this postseason, they actually lost every home game in the World Series, which I thought was very ironic. But it's really frustrating still because the Yankees lost in 7 games, and then Judge was robbed of the MVP because of this. I mean, it's really, there's nothing we can do. We have to move on. But what's going on now is that the Yankees are the World Series favorites again, bar none. Their 2 biggest rivals have gotten extremely weaker, and the Red Sox have also made 0 impact moves, and they also are probably about to lose their manager. And there's a slight chance that Betts or Price gets traded. Price, I think, would be smart for them to trade because that contract's horrendous. But Betts would be not smart at all. So I hope that ends up happening. How do you see? Here's a good question. What do you think the future of the Astros looks like? Like, how do they recover from this? Like, how do you see their season playing out next year?
I think that this is going to affect them. I think the loss, like I said, the loss of Garrett Cole is going to become evident that they should have worked harder to keep him. And honestly, I don't think he would have stayed because he knew what was going on. I think that they're going to have to try to really just get this out of their mind. Yeah, nobody. Here's the thing: they did nothing, and nobody wanted to go there because they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
this team is just, you know what? This is a huge blow to their team. They got this is going to affect them, and if you tell me it's not going to, it is.
Mm-hmm.
They just lost their manager. They just lost their general manager
and their best pitcher.
So 3 huge parts of that franchise gone like the snap of a finger.
Yeah, they're going to need, the offense is really going to have to step up this year. And do you think they still win the division and make the playoffs? So I guess that would be the best question to ask.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I do. Even though they're cheaters and all this stuff, you can't take away from the talent they have. They still got a talented roster, and they got Grant. Donald.
He's going to be with them for a full year now. He's going to have to be critical without Cole. Greinke's going to be big. They'll get Lance McCullers back, which will help them as well. So, I mean, they still have talent.
Of course, they'll still win the division, but I think you're going to see early on in the year that it's going to affect them. Like, I can see them...
Like a bad start, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that, and I can see them being... And you're just going to see, like, a locker room kind of like,
toxic.
Yep, it's. I think you're going to hear about a lot of problems.
I can't imagine how thrilled Verlander is right now.
I think he's embarrassed, really.
Because he was talking so much smack about cheating and all this stuff, and now look what happens.
Now he just looks like a hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't really have much love for JB. I respect what he's done, but he's a Yankee killer. He's a thorn in our side, so I let them suffer a little bit. It's all good. So, moving forward for the Yankees, this is really big for us. It makes us even better. It makes us in a better position now than we were. They're going to be looking up. They're going to be fighting against us now, and I just can't wait to play them. And, there's 2 things that we're going to say before we got to get going. First of all, you see the news that CC's in our front office now.
Yes, I did.
That's noteworthy.
You know what? He just bleeds pinstripes.
I'm happy about that.
Absolutely. Once again, you know what? Ever since we got him in 10, 11 years ago, he's just been what the Yankees are all about. This in-locking NY right here is what CC's all about. I love it. And you know what? The fact that he's now a part of us for life in the front office, he's just there to help bring in more talent, to make us better, and I love every second of it. His life is baseball, and his life is the Yankees. I'm happy he's definitely with us. Happy retirement with him, but let's face it, you're still a Yankee. You're still in the front office. You're still going to help us win.
All right, well, that actually leads me to a great question. Do you think he goes into the Hall of Fame as a Yankee if he makes it?
Yes.
Which he should make it,
He won a World Series with us, absolutely. I think, and he was with us for almost over 10 years. Everything he's done.
True.
He did have a great career before he came to us.
Yeah, he was a great Indian. That's why I brought that up.
But the thing is, I think he really made a name for himself when he was with the Yankees.
Yeah, and he still reps Yankees. He's going to work for us. I feel like he would wear a Yankees hat too if he had the choice.
Absolutely.
Well, he'll have the choice if he makes it.
Remember what he said? He said that when he was younger. He said he would always be a Yankee. And look, he did.
Yeah, I mean,
his father said that to him. I remember hearing that. He said, "My dad said when I was younger, one day you will play for the Yankees."
Same thing with Garrett Cole. He always wanted to play
Once
too.
Yankee fan today, now, and forever.
Yep, I was going to bring out that shirt too. And then the other thing is that I can't wait for this, and I know you're going to be excited for this. No, it's actually just after your marriage. You don't have to stay for next week, but it's actually literally right after your marriage, I just realized. When the Astros come to the stadium in September, you might have to postpone that move a touch. Give them one last goodbye, because that stadium's going to be rocking in September.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a raucous environment. I bet people are already joking that we should get garbage cans and start banging them and all that. Like,
it's going to be...
It's going to be crazy. I can't wait to see all the signs.
Yankee...
I got to make a sign. I don't even do that normally, but...
Hey, you know what? There's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be something. I wish it was earlier in the season. Like, why we got to wait all the way to September to welcome to the Bronx Zoo? And by welcome, I mean loudly boo.
So... Are you telling me the only time the Astros are coming is that September? That's it?
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
What the hell? Really?
Yeah, well, the thing is that you only play them 2 series in a year because they're not in your division, so you don't play them more than twice. Okay. So you get them once at your place, once in their place.
Oh, God.
But we get them in May at their place. At first I thought we were getting them at home, and I was excited, but you know what? It's all good.
Hey, at the end of the year when the Yankees are about to... have the best record in baseball. What better way to have them clinch than have this guy right here pitch and just dominate them?
I really want to see that.
How about poetic justice?
Yes, that would be incredible. But for today, I think we're just about good here. The next time you'll hear from us from baseball terms, I guess the Alex Cora suspension, or if there's another big trade or something.
Yeah, we'll see if a big trade happens, like I could tell you that the Arenado trade is seeming imminent at this point. I'm hearing the Rangers and the Cardinals are involved. That's a big trade.
Yeah, that's huge.
But with the Alex Cora situation, I expect to hear that soon, and we'll have that for you right away. Like today, this was big news. We had to get this up. We had to let everybody know everything. We finally got the rulings down, the punishment.
Yeah, we were waiting for this.
We were waiting for this for a while. Julian tweeted today he couldn't wait to break the news. 2 hours later, you get to break the news. So
yeah,
maybe pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised.
My Twitter fingers are itching today.
I know that feeling. Went to break some news, but with that, with Alex Cora, I expect that news to happen soon. And when that happens, we will have it for you right here and ready to go.
There's actually one last thing I realized, and it's a really funny joke. You see the thing with George Springer, the arbitration case, that there's a $5 million difference? That's how much they got fined.
$5 million. There you go. That could have went to George Springer.
Yeah, that's an ugly situation, too. So not only is their manager, GM, and their best
players
pitcher
are not happy.
Now Springer's going to have a grievance of over $5 million. He has no shot of winning, by the way, because that's the largest difference ever in arbitration history. So that's going to be a fun one for Springer and the organization. This is just getting better and better. Like, I just want popcorn for this.
Yeah.
Like, I just love seeing this. They're literally self-destructing right now. And
movie,
I hate them so much, so it's amazing.
It's Oscar season. This movie is Oscar nomination worthy.
Yeah, all right. Well, all right, I'm good now. Well, I think we're set. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so I'm Julian Gallardi.
I'm Bobby Thompson.
Follow, like, subscribe, sponsor us. GT Sports Talk 2, Twitter and Instagram. GNT Sports Talk, Apple Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. This will be up on the channel. It's going to be in the podcast. Thanks for listening, everyone. Let's go Yankees, baby.